open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight.
What's going on, guys? My name is Peter, aka Styler, and welcome to my Zentek channel. So in this video I'm going to review the VANKYO Performance V630 with native 1080p Full HD. And if you're interested in this product, then please support me and check out the links below in the video description. But first things first, let's start out with the full unboxing. So here on the side we see the FCC and CE certification that indicates conformity with health, safety and protection standards. On the front we have a picture of the unit and the name Performance V630 Full HD Projector. Okay, now let's have a look inside. First let me take it out of this box. And let's check what we have here. First a power cable, then a HDMI cable, an old school connectivity cable that splits out into video and audio, a cleaning microfiber and some long Q-tips, the remote control which uses 2 AAA batteries, and notice that these are not included, some small screws, quick start guide, a satisfied or not satisfied card, and last a full user manual in English, German, French and other languages. Okay, so here we have the projector placed nicely inside a special designed carrying bag, which makes it very handy when you have to take it from one place to another. It does give a little bit of protection against scratches and other things, but still I would be careful with it, as the bag is of relative thin material. The projector has a good size and weight. The design is modern and the housing is made of white plastic, while on the back and front we find some grey mesh. On the top we have the focus and keystone adjustment, which is done manually. On the left side an intake with a filter, which also can be opened up, and once we take it out we find a nice little mesh. On the right side we have the exhaust, SD card reader and 2 HDMI ports. On the bottom 4 rubber feet, mounting points and a small adjustment wheel. And on the back we have a VGA port, 2 USB ports, one for data and one for power, AV and audio out. And last the power socket, also known from standard PCs, plus a built-in fuse. Finally, at the front we find a lens cover, so let me just now remove this. And let's have a closer look at the big beautiful lens, which is one of the most important parts. And notice that you will need to adjust the lens all back in to be able to put on the lens cover again. Maybe this could have been designed a little bit smarter. So this is the keystone adjustment, which is done manually. And I found out that it is really important to let it be in the standard center. Small adjustments on this can result in blurry corners and decreased image quality. So if possible I would try to avoid using this at all. While this one here is for the focus, so depending on the distance to the wall you adjust it so the picture gets sharp. And luckily I was able to get both center and corners sharp at the same time. The grey mesh on the front is nice and makes it stand out a bit. Here also a close-up of the VANKYO name. Most of the functions can be controlled via the buttons on the top. These are all tactile and easy to use. You can directly play videos, music and pictures from an SD card, or you can play them from a USB stick or USB hard drive. I tested MP4 movies and MP3 files, which worked flawless. The power button has built-in light, red for power down and green when it's on. The built-in speaker is pretty standard, it is loud enough for movies and music, but the quality is just average. And I would say you're better off connecting a good Bluetooth speaker via audio cable or your home stereo.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies. Only you.
So now let's get through some of the basic functions and features. This is the manual adjusted keystone, the selection of possible input source. This is the menu you get when you use the USB port or SD card. And here you can now also hear the fan noise, which is noticeable, but when watching a movie you will quickly forget about it. The volume bar. And here I will just cycle through all the possible settings so you can have a look.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies.
So this projector is perfect for movies, but it does suffer from some input lag, especially with games. So I would not recommend it for competitive gamers. Also the refresh rate seems a little bit low, meaning it is acceptable but nothing more. So on this you cannot really tell the difference from watching a 60 frames per second movie over one recorded with just 30 frames per second. They will both just look the same. Some users out there have been discussing the sharpness, especially of the corners. Many could get the center sharp but with blurry corners. As you can see here on my unit, all 4 corners are pretty sharp and in a good quality. But I did also not use the keystone and spend some extra time getting the focus just right, so for the best results this is extremely important. Overall, I'm very satisfied with the image quality when watching movies. The brightness is high, contrast and colors are great, and the sharpness is good. It is of course extremely hard to capture right in a video, because in real life it is better than seen in this video.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
In daylight or when the normal light in the room is on, the picture is of course not as good as in complete darkness, but for me still very acceptable. So now to my final verdict. The VANKYO Performance V630 is not perfect. It does have some pros and cons. Thanks to the native 1080p resolution, I really like the image quality, brightness and colors. It's affordable and the price is more than fair. It has many kind of in and outputs like SD card slot, USB, HDMI, headphone jack, etc. Regarding the cons, it does suffer from some input lag, especially with games, and I would not recommend it for competitive gamers. Also, the refresh rate, frame rate is not the best, meaning it is acceptable but also nothing more. And last, the fan noise is noticeable, but when you watch movies you forget about it really quickly. As shown in the video, the corners on my unit are all sharp, but I do admit that it can be a little difficult to focus and set up correctly. But from my experience with this projector, it is good value for money. I enjoyed using it and I will also use it in the future, so if you ask me, then I fully recommend it. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, drop a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching this video and I hope to see you in my next one.